Welcome once again to our YouTube channel. In this video, I will be demonstrating to us how to make the front twist dress. So if this looks like what we'll be interested in, relax and watch till the end. So our model is still the miniature mannequin, and from our measurements, or what we have here is exactly her measurement. So you don't alter the pattern. What you'll be changing is actually you reduce you reduce your waist circumference by 1 inch, your bust circumference by 1 inch, your hip circumference by 1 inch. But of course, you don't alter the length measurement. So here we have we'll be putting in some guidelines. So this is the center front line, like we all know. And you have the waistline. This is the bust line. This is the hip line. So next we'll be taking note of where we'll be having the knots, which for me, a little bit below your under bust measurement. So if it's an adult measurement, you might consider probably 2 inches above your waist measurement. So let's assume that this is the 2 inches above the half length. Okay, so once you have those guidelines, next is to get our points O. And this will be before you're on this line. It will be before your nip to nip measurement. So let's assume if your nip to nip bust span is 4 inches from this side, you can consider using 3 inches. But for a miniature mannequin, so let's just position it here. So these are points O. So from point O, we are going to connect straight to this bust line. Then you can come up to, like, from your waistline to your hip line. You can divide it into 2 on this side. So you connect to that other point. Still from the point O. Let me write it O here. So on your right hand side, you are going to connect to your hip line and also to this bust line here, or let's say 2 inches below your armhole. So once we have this, let's go ahead and label what we have. So we have 4 sections. We have this side as A, you have this side as B, this can be your C, and this will be your D. So next we'll be creating a guidelines, slash lines for each of the sections. But let's go ahead and separate this pattern into 4 sections. I hope all these lines are not confusing for you. So we have the 4 sections, as you can see. Sure, I'll not close that window like this, even though the breeze is interesting. Like, you give me another 2 so I can pin for this like this. So we have the 4 sections, A, B, C, and D. So we create the slash lines. the original pattern to a new one that has less of a distraction going on, as you can see. So these are the slash lines, A, B, C, D. So let's slash through, but don't cut through the paper. So this is how you slash this pattern. From the point O outwards. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. If you have questions or any comments, please leave it in the comment section. We'll be glad to hear from you. And don't forget to share our videos. So we are still creating the slash lines. So with what we have right now, we'll be merging A and C together and merge B and D together. So watch and see how I merge the two patterns. And of course, you merge them on a fresh pattern paper. So you can see from this angle, you move it to this end. Did you see that? From here, this is the where it's joined together. So you're going to merge in this order and turn this to this side. So just spread it. I want us to take note of something so that we don't get confused along the line. So if you look at this, you can see that this is the front of the pattern. The knot is actually on the left-hand side of our pattern paper, not on the right-hand side. So with what you have, you can see that by the time you match these two together, so that means this is the right-hand side of your pattern paper. Are you getting? So this is the right-hand side. So let's label this right-hand side. And you have this for the lower part. So and this is this way. So that means this is the left-hand side of your pattern paper. Let's do it here. Right-hand side. And of course, for what we have, you can see that this is the up and this is the down. So this is up, like upper part of your pattern, and this is the lower part that is attached to your waistline, going towards the hip line. So that means this as well. So this will be the upper part of your bodies, while this will be attached to the down part of your bodies, of your skirt, towards your skirt part. So let's just take note of that so that you don't get confused along the line. So this is your front pattern. So what you have right here now is what you now be cutting on your stretchy fabric. I think I did mention in the beginning that the kind of fabric suitable for this style is a stretchy material. So you can use materials like your polo material or lycra material. Any other material that is stretchy but not too bulky, they come out very well on this kind of style. Okay, so for the back, guys, I'll be using I'm still making use of the front pattern to cut the back. I'll just make a little adjustment on this pattern, so I can afford to fold this at the center to cut the back. You can style your back as you prefer. For me, I want mine to have buttons at the back, so I'm going to take the neckline a little bit higher so I can have a button opening for the back. So you can cut facing for finishing of your neckline for the front and the back. So for the back, my facing, I want it to like cover part of my armhole because I'm not actually fixing another sleeve. So you can use the facing to turn the armhole all together. So you have facing for the back. And I also have facing I cut facing for the front neckline. So we have the back not ironed yet. So we'll put this aside and also get the front to be at this stage. So this is the upper part, this is the down part, and this is the facing for the neckline. We can do this later. So remember our labeling when I said that this is the down part of the pattern, as in this side. So you take this down part, the part that goes towards your hip line. So that is what you have here. Take it and join it to this part of your pattern. Then you can leave a little space, so the space will be for passing through this into the hole to pass this through. This space here, you get like you're going to stitch, you can just leave out 1 inch before you stitch all the way down. So the opening here will be for passing through the other part of the body's pattern. So let's leave out a little space, say 1 inch. And we stitch all the way down. So you have this already stitched and you have the little space. Okay, so once you have this, next you are going to take, this is your right hand side, and you can see this is up and this is down. So take this, put it together with this part of the pattern. So take the lower part, bring it together with the upper part, and then pass it through this hole, the hole you created. through. So you carefully pull the pattern. So once you've put this, you can see the remaining part of this is the upper side. So you're going to stitch these two together and then stitch the lower parts together. Now the wrong side, not the right side. So I'm going to flip this over and sew. Okay, so I've ironed the front and the back, as you can see. So right now I will join the shoulder and close up the armhole. So I'll place this and open up the shoulder this way. So I'm going to stitch from one end to the other. So I've ironed the armhole, as you can see. So the front and the back. So I need to just join the sides right away and the dress will be ready to fit on our model. So I open here